All right, ladies and gentlemen, traders, welcome back to another Relentless recap. Guys, if you're tuning in for the first time, consider subscribing to the channel. And other than that, hit that thumbs up button and let's talk about how we were able to make $2,000 today day trading ticker symbols OCEA, AISP, DTSS, PHUN, and CASI. Hit that thumbs up and let's jump into it. And of course, before we do, let's remember the disclaimer, right? Let's remember that day trading is risky business. Let's remember that day trading is hard. If you're someone who is learning how to trade, or even if you're someone who's been here for a while and you're quite not where you want to be in terms of consistency, it's best to utilize the simulators, guys. The simulators, practice, practice, practice. That'll make improvements. Or at the very least, if you're using a real account, utilize small share size. Do not go guns a-blazing. Do not go in there like the Terminator and think you're going to just execute and win. You got to take it slow. You got to take it safe. Other than that, remember the live streams, the recaps, they're never an invitation to try and copy what I'm doing. There's a system, there's a style, right? I have a formal class that helps to guide people. And even then, it's not guaranteed. Even then, there's still high risk. So you got to understand that trading is not easy. And, trying to copy wildly online is madness. Lastly, remember to be careful with the fake accounts and impersonators. I do not invest money for my subscribers. I do not offer copy trading. I do not offer mirror trading. Be careful with the fake accounts. I will never message you first. I will never ask for money or personal information. Now, with that being said, let's talk a little bit here about PHUN. Of course, this stock gave a nice move yesterday. Sweet move. We had some connection issues at the team house. Glad to be back in the office. One thing I mentioned in yesterday's recap is that I don't like to have an excuse. I want to be at full power so that I know if something goes wrong, it's on me, right? So into the open, this thing gave a sweet move, and I completely missed it. I had my eyes on AISP to start the day, but into the open it was all PHUN. I mean, once this thing got going, we had a low of about 1580, I believe, and then from there it completely took off, right? So let's watch this right here. So we're coming into the open. We had small sellers at 1614, 18k share sitting there, and the moment it started to get over that seller right there is the moment it started to move. And you can see I'm red on AISP, kind of watching this one, thinking that's where the opportunity is going to be. But sometimes that's what it comes down to, opportunity cost. If I literally am watching PHUN, there's a good chance that I'm already buying in this area right here and watching to see how far this thing goes, right? And perhaps I would have been back out because it's not immediate. I want to see this immediately moving up. Okay, there we go. There's some action. The level 2, the time and sales rather getting a little bit more active, around 20, now 25, 30. Can we see 40? So it's inching up. Okay, 47. It's really opening up here. 50, 70. All right, that's a good move from around 30 to 70. Now 85, there's 17. By the time I look at it, it's just it's just up so much already. I'm kind of late. I could have tried to buy for 17, but wasn't trying to be overly aggressive. It would have worked. It got all the way to 1760. And right here, this is what I call being on my heels. I'm just too late to the show. Missed that entire move for the opening surge on PHUN. So from there, I tried some trades here for dips on the way down, thinking we would bottom out, have a bit of a flag up here, consolidate, and then maybe go higher. But that was not the case. This thing sold off. Very disappointing. From there, you can see all the way down to 14. Just a little choppy. Moving on, we had, let's see, OCEA. Oh, okay, we'll come back to OCEA. Let's see. Let's go to positions. CASI, small loss in this one early. Watching this area here for the red to green, we got up to 640 and then 680, but just had some trouble connecting in this move up, man. And then from there, it rejected. I thought we might have been able to curl back up right here. Again, can we get that bit of a flag and then go higher? Instead, it was lower. So, had to cut the losses here, had to keep it tight. Down 177. DTSS, this one was probably today was a frustrating and disappointing day. DTSS, it's halted up. And I could have done a better job pulling it up sooner. I think I could have potentially been able to do something in this consolidation. I saw it, but I thought the volume was super light into the very first halt up right here. So I didn't even bother looking at it, which, I did myself a bit of a disservice right there. But sometimes that's how it goes, But anyhows, I missed this move here, and I saw it whilst it was halted up. So I came, and I'm like, man, this volume is still light, because if we look down here, 186,000 shares. Wasn't sure about how it was doing at the time. It was already a choppy day. So I'm like, hey, just small size. And kid you guys not, at 11:30, we managed to capture $1 a share move on this thing for a sweet, sweet trade. Let's see here. Let's see, so we're in at 10:50. I got a higher fill on the bulk of this position though, 1077. And we're out at 11:55. And then we're back in at 12 with bigger size. And we're out at 12:20. Back in at 96, out at 12:20. And so we started off by going up $1,200 almost instantly. Beautiful first dip and rip out of the resumption, and from there we bled out. You talk about death by 1,000 cuts. I mean, just bleeding out. I did the right thing to size down, and I was still losing. And I even turned and said, from green 1,200 to green 8 to green about 7, 6. I went down to then 4, and I'm like, at 6, I'm like, I gave back half my profits. I got to size down. And then at 4, I'm like, man, maybe I should stop. But I kept going because, ultimately it held up nicely. And let's get rid of some of these trend lines, right? It held up nicely, and it looked, let's say it was offering the opportunities that I would usually trade for stock that I'm making money on, right? So we had the wedge, we had our lows in here, right? We had a low at 54 and 60. And it's, again, like this is, I gotta do a better job. That's the only thing to really say here. We have our low, right? We have our high. I gotta do a better job. It comes down, it makes a new low, but then it curls back up with higher lows, which then indicated that we could have potentially gotten the red to green back over 1194. From there, we got up to 1213. Quick pullback right here, baby pullback. From 1177, we rip all the way to 13, and then 1320. It does dip aggressively to 1214, which did throw me off, and then it got back up there. But there's no excuse here. Like, green 1200 very, very quickly right here. And then throughout the entirety of this consolidation, I gave back 1200. It's just pathetic. Should never happen. Should never happen. Just very disappointing, getting caught against the spreads, refusing to use limit orders for the bids. Sometimes you got to just slow it down and make that adjustment faster. If not, you're going to be at the mercies of the market. So I left myself out to dry. On this thing. In fact, we should have been green like we were, and then added another 1K, 2K in this move here. That's the opportunity this one offered, for me to be walking away up 3K, then to be down 156. So when I come back here, I gotta really watch this one through and through to see where I need to make those adjustments, and where I want to just ease off on certain trades, because it's not worth giving back the entire thing, man. So this was a huge wedge, which broke down and then gave a move. That was DTSS. OCEA. 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 And then AISP. I mean, today was such a great day, man. Okay, OCEA. Let's talk about this one. We're at 10 minutes, so we got to do three, maybe 3 and 3 for each of these, or 4 and 4, then wrap it up. 20-minute recap, perhaps. OCEA, a little choppy to start the day. We're up and then back down, and then we're up and then back down, and then we grind it up, and then we're back down with a bigger red candle. And man, oh man, was this thing a mess. So initially, I wanted to see it over 480s, 490s, and can we get candles to close above this level to get the pull away? And some of the one of the good things was for this one was that we were uptrending, but again, we were having a lot of hard drops at the highs. So every time we would push up there, back down, work our way back up, back down, work our way back up, back down. So once we had this candle here make the new high over 490s, and then we pulled back and we held up at 85. I think right here I caught a good trade, 950. Let's see. I think I caught a good trade here, I think. Let's see here. I could be wrong. Well, okay, I was watching PHUN. I'm going to come over around 514. Let's see. So I'm a little late to the show. I thought I caught a good trade somewhere in there. Maybe I'm mixing this one up with one of the other ones, perhaps. That could be the case. Because, let's see. Did I capture? So I was watching I was watching PHUN. I wasn't getting anything done there. So okay, it was a little late. I don't know why it seemed so familiar, as if I was watching this area here. Yeah, so it was on my level 2 below, but I'm gonna miss the actual move. So I'm gonna pull it up here. We had 520 for the highs, and this was the wick up. So okay, 94 would have been good too, but still buying here. Can we hold up above 20? I'm in at 19. You can see us hitting 25 by 30. And I'm going to be looking to take a couple cents here and there every time. But let's see, it got up to 40. Let's see, it got up to 40. And then we had lows of 15. I think I did well on the dips here. I think I did well on the dip. So the last high of day was around 20. We're going to dip down here to 19, 17. And I believe I'm going to go long in this area here. So I'm long 20, 21. We get back up to 30. And so this is how I was looking at it. I'm just taking a couple of trades here and there. It gets up to 42. And then now can we break over the highs? But then, big drops like that is what made this one tricky, right? So this was basically OCEA. It's going to dip down again. And I'm going to try for this dip here around 17, 16. I think it's going to go a little lower. So I'm in at 15. And then there's 9 on the bids. So I'm cutting it immediately, man. I'm going to try again. And this is where I get blazed. So I'm in at 10 thinking that we could still get a chance to go back to 20. So sometimes you guys will... So you just saw me cut a trade extremely fast. The moment I bought this one, I didn't even get a chance to blink. Look at where it's at already. So instead of me panicking and being upset, I already am aware that this thing could come down hard. And that if it does, it's not anything personal. This allows me to cut the trade and keep it business as usual. Anticipating that despite me looking for a tight risk, the stock can always flush down aggressively and I can get caught at any time. So right here, I'm selling as quickly as I can in the spreads. Whatever loss I take is whatever loss I take, man. If I can get a fair fill, if there's buying on the ask last minute, I'll take it. If I can't, fill me in the worst possible bid, get me out of there. Doesn't matter if it bounces back up or not. All right. But it went down all the way to 77, and I did like this dip. The only issue that I had with it initially was that the halt down was close right here. So I had 76 as yesterday's high, and I'm very disappointed that I couldn't take it because the halt down is at 74. So the halt down does move away, or else I'd be in. If you guys have our 5-minute candlestick at this time, 5-minute chart was looking very beautiful. So that was OCEA. We kind of slowly, and you can see it curled up nicely off that level, man. And then again, nicely off this level. So I believe this was yesterday's high, if I'm not mistaken. Yesterday's high is 476. Yeah, 476. Yesterday's high became beautiful support. And then here we opened up a little bit better. Got the high of day push over 68. And then we held up 68 on this dip, and then again, and then again. And it continued higher. And that was OCEA. We ran into the 200 EMA. Was this the 200 EMA from today? No, it wasn't. This was the 200 EMA from a few days ago or a few weeks ago. Whenever it was the last time I traded this stock, perhaps on this day back here or something, or maybe even over here. Was it 796? Maybe on this day the 200 was in this area, but yeah, I think that's what it was. So I left it there, and it still had proved to be resistance, right? Those two trend lines that I had in that area. So if we zoom out, can I go back to see? It was the high point of one of the days we had a few weeks ago. Actually, no, that's not it. That's a 2 something. I'd have to go back more, which I don't know if I have the data. But anyhow, so you guys see the daily chart, right? So lastly, okay, that was a good time. Lastly, the most frustrating one. I mean, DTSS from green to red, and then AISP, like all this opportunity not being able to get, man, today's like a 10K day. It should really be. I mean, just look at all these beautiful opportunities, right? If you're efficient in capturing, you know. So let's see. AISP started off nicely pre-market into the open, a little tricky, just like the other ones. You know, we saw green to red and then red to greens. This one was red. The 1 minute candle made the new high over 310. And from there, we pushed all the way to 370. I don't know if I caught anything on this move. I don't know if I caught anything on that move. Let's see, my first order came at 330. Actually, you know what? It was so strong. What happened to me is that, you know, sometimes the expectation, man. I just didn't expect it to just be this aggressive. So, okay, we're curling up here. I think I'm going to notice it right there. Am I going to notice it? When am I going to notice it? Because I'm still watching PHUN because PHUN just gave that move. Yeah, okay, never mind. I see what's going to happen. So I'm just watching. Opportunity is going to cost. Opportunity is going to cost me on PHUN. By the time I'm switching over, it's already at 320. I'm missing 310. 1 minute candle making the new high. And right here, I'm going to realize, like, can we hold above 10? Did I? I don't even think I did. Am I? I think I want to say I did. No, I don't. I think in my mind I realized, but it was already too late. But, man, this is so annoying to see. Like, I just need to be watching at the one stock. If I'm watching at one stock. But anyhow, I capture a small trade here, just nothing much. Not expecting it to keep going. It's going to jump to 47, 50, 60. I'm like, oh my gosh. Man. That entry was me thinking, all right, I'm going to buy 50. But I was slow to buy because, you know, I wasn't sure if it wanted to keep dropping. And I hesitate to buy. It's already up at 60. I take a loss as it then pulls back. You know, it's so easy to get frustrated when you're trading, right? But this is what it comes down to. Man, this is what I call being on a merry-go-round. I'm on my heels to start the day. Like, I'm not in control. I'm not leading. I'm following. I'm trying to catch up to where the momentum is. By the time I get there, I'm kind of missing the move. But you know, sometimes that's what you got to deal with to start the day. And this thing from there, believe it or not, sold right off. So at this point, I realized, okay, it's a choppy day. PHUN, strong move, sold right off. AISP, strong move to start the day, relatively speaking, sold right off. So it wasn't up until later here where I started trading it again back over VWAP. and then back over levels of 320 or so. And then even here, like sweet move, right? We got a bit of a small flag here. The 1 minute candle makes the new high, and then just disaster after the breakout. So sweet breakout, disaster from 369 to 290. Like, come on. And you know, I'm giving back because I'm trying to buy, thinking we're gonna get a consolidation here. You know, a consolidation in this area perhaps, and then another higher move. Instead, it's back down. So just very frustrating price action at times. But then there's other areas like this where we do break over the bear flag. We get a sweet move up. It does get a little wicky here, but then we push higher. We get all the way to 390. I traded, for the amount of volume I traded, this was a pretty poor and inefficient performance. I will say that myself because it is, right? With this type of volume, I would have loved to been up, you know, a couple thousand on this type of stock. So from here we pulled back, right? We get the high point around 390, and it's like a slow grind, slow grind, and then at last it starts to break out. And you know what's so crazy right here? I saw this thing before I went out to lunch, right? Look at this. Oh, it's not even showing. Anyhows, I basically stopped trading it somewhere here. Or maybe over, let's see, I think it was like 10 minutes before this breakout. Like right here, I stopped trading it. I'm like, oh man, like nothing is happening. I'm just like giving back small gains. I go for lunch, I come back. By the time I come back, we're like right here. Like right here. Somewhere here. So I missed this beautiful high of day push over 390. That got all the way to 437. Pulled back to a low of 03, high of 42, low of 96. Pushed back up to 14 and then 55. So I was frustrated when I came back. I also was trying to eat here in front of the computer, which was not good. Sometimes it's best to just be away for lunch, man, because before you know it, it's like you're hungry. Like there, I remember at the last seminar we've been to in November, they were talking about how like traders will sometimes punish themselves. You want to use the bathroom, right? But you know the move could happen, so you're like not going. Or in my case, I'm so hungry, I want to eat, but I know that the stock could keep going, and my food is right here on the desk. I'm trying to take a little bite and then watch back, like just nonsense. It's just one or the other. Shut it down or eat somewhere else, then come back. Because before you know it, you're just frustrating yourself. You look away, you miss a move. That's how it goes. And you know, watching here, I was on the keys and everything, but the way how this move played out, didn't really get to capitalize. And this was just so frustrating, man. Missed the bulk of this move, made some money in the consolidation, then gave some back. Then we had another sweet move up. Like again, guys, this is the type of stock to be up 5-6 grand for me. No excuses. DTSS stock to be up 3. So when I look back at everything, it's like, yeah, I gotta shake off this rust. I gotta get locked in. OCEA probably should have been like 3K. AISP 6,000. You know, DTSS 3K. You know, by the time I'm done, PHUN, if I'm to capture that first move, okay, that one did have to do a little bit with the opportunity cost, but you know, we captured that first move and we size early, probably up another 2K, just like that 15K day. Boom. It takes a lot to go right, but still it's, you know, it's there. It's something that's tangible. We've done it before. So 2.1 is good, but the type of opportunities that this day offered, we should have done 2, 3, 4, 5 times better. So we got to look to improve. We got to be a little bit more sharp. First day back, gotta lock it in. Gotta be better. If there's just no excuse. And I think mentally tomorrow, I'm gonna be where I need to be. I'm gonna be a little bit more firm. I'm gonna be a little bit more sharp. Hopefully, we can continue to see some hot momentum. So, with that being said, hit that thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel. It's been Relentless Trader, and I am, of course. Uh, Check out those links as well. Check out those links for the chat room. Check out the links for the scanner. Check out the link for Merciless Markets, the course that I offer. With that being said, remember the risks of trading. Remember that it's hard. Remember it takes months, more commonly years, to become consistent. And that'll do it for us. We are heading out. Stay safe, stay green.